Another one just hit.
September 11th, 2001. The threat of terrorism hits home. Today we must prepare for the possibility of all kinds of terrorist attacks, including bioterrorism. In the event of a public health disaster, CDPH may need to respond by dispensing or administering protective medications to the public. As a public health professional or supporter of the health mission, you may be called upon to participate in our team of public health first responders. At a City of Chicago Dispensing and Vaccination Center, or DVC, you'll help minimize the ill effects of a public health disaster by providing protective medicines to the public. A swift and aggressive prophylaxis campaign has the potential to save hundreds of thousands of lives. Your role in that, or any public health disaster, is essential.
That's what the City Readiness Initiative is. It's getting pills or vaccine into every person's arm or mouth within 48 hours of the federal government delivering it here to the City of Chicago. That's our job. That's why we're here.
Getting medications to the masses. The job sounds simple enough. The tough part is reaching out to 3 million people in just 2 days.
48 hours, 2.9 million people. You know what that equals on an average per person? The time you get to spend with them? 1 minute, 60 seconds.
Why the rush? Because if a person is exposed to a deadly biological agent such as anthrax, plague, or tularemia, they'll have a much better chance of survival if they quickly take a protective medicine before they become symptomatic. If that person seeks treatment after becoming ill, their chance of survival drops significantly. This strategy of providing preventive medication to the exposed but healthy is called post-exposure prophylaxis, or PEP. For PEP to be maximally effective, exposed persons need to be prophylaxed as soon as possible after exposure, as symptoms may begin to appear as early as 24 hours. Simply said, the more people we prophylax, the more lives we potentially save. Let's look at an example. In the event of a large geographical release of anthrax across the city, or what we call a City Readiness Initiative, or CRI event, we may need to prophylax the entire city population. To do that, the public health response will divide the city into 5 pre-identified regions. Each region has an Assembly Transportation Center, or ATC, where DVC staffs are assembled, processed, and mobilized. Each region has 11 Dispensing Vaccination Centers, or DVCs, where the public receive PEP in the form of take-home prescriptions or on-site vaccinations. In all, 55 DVCs are needed to effectively respond to a CRI type of scenario, each providing PEP to 52,000 Chicagoans. For the anthrax CRI scenario, we must provide oral antibiotic PEP to the city population within 48 hours of the decision to do so. In the event of a public health disaster, you'll be notified by an automated system that dials your communication device. This process will be covered in a separate public health disaster training. The automated information may request that you report to an ATC, or it may be a notification of the disaster and a request to stand by. If you do get activated and must report to an ATC, you may drive and parking will be provided. At the ATC, you'll be assigned to a DVC role based on your profession and skills. You'll receive a packed lunch and then be bused to your assigned DVC to begin your first shift. At the DVC, you'll be provided PEP for yourself, and if take-home prescriptions are involved, those living in your household.
We're going to prioritize dispensing of our first responders. You will get prophylaxed, before we put you on the front lines. We will take care of your family, so at the end of that shift, you'll be able to pick up that medication for your family.
The PEP campaign may go on for days or weeks. From day 2 on, you will report directly to your assigned DVC. The ATC will try to assign you to a DVC near your home. This is beneficial if you speak a second language common to your community. DVCs are set up at school gymnasiums and park field houses where large numbers of people can easily come and go. To reach out to many people over a short period of time, DVCs will be open 24 hours a day and staffed with 8-hour shifts. Your mission at a DVC is to provide rapid PEP and quality public health care to our citizens and visitors.
And so it's a complete and total paradigm shift of the way you're used to doing business. It's a complete turnaround. It's a churn and burn.
Unlike many public health services, this mission will focus on mass care rather than individualized care. Consider that we may need to reach over 3 million people in need of protective medicines. Let's take a look at how DVCs operate. There are 5 activities in a DVC organizational chart: command, clinical and security operations, planning, logistics, and fiscal administrative support. Clinical operations are the center stage of the DVC mission, performing the drug dispensing or administrative function. Chicago police are pre-assigned to security operations. They'll protect the staff and keep the peace inside and outside of the DVC. The planning branch reports progress to the higher levels of the city response. They keep the leaders informed of how the DVCs are doing and plan for future staffing and supply needs. The logistics branch manages the necessary supplies and equipment. From medicines to clipboards to copy machines, they'll make sure your station or area is supplied with everything you need. Most of you will be assigned to jobs in the clinical operations branch. The dispensing or vaccination operation consists of 4 primary patient service stations and areas: medical screening, forms distribution, forms review, and dispensing. There are also 2 ancillary service stations: medical evaluation and clinical consult. A patient first reports to the medical screening station. Medical screening is critical. The goal is to quickly separate people with symptoms from those without. If a person is symptomatic or has information that may aid the CDPH epidemiological investigation, they are referred to a physician or epi-caseworker at medical evaluation. If the symptomatology and patient history look suspicious, they are transported to a hospital for potential IV antibiotic treatment. Patients with no symptoms or significant history are referred directly to the forms distribution area. As a forms distributor, you will ask each patient to fill out a patient information form, or PIF, with their contact info and select medical information for themselves and everyone they're picking up medicines for. Patients also fill out prescription labels for each dispensee. Once the PIF and labels are completed, the patient is referred to the forms review station, where a forms reviewer checks their entries and adds dispensing information. From forms review, the patient is referred to the dispensing station, where they pick up the prescribed medicines. So, medical screening, forms distribution, forms review, and dispensing. These are the primary care stations and areas of the DVC that all patients are processed through. Some patients, however, may also need to visit one of the ancillary stations. We mentioned one of these already, the medical evaluation station. If a patient has medical issues or complicated questions while at forms review, they are referred to a clinical consult station where a physician will further evaluate them. A public health disaster will be a very stressful experience. Some people may need help coping. If you're caring for a patient and they're having trouble, you can call on the team of mental health workers roving the floor and available to assist.
I do want you to be sensitive that there is a difference between the person who needs to see CPD, Chicago Police Department, versus, mental health. So, if they want to kill everybody in the room, they need to see the police department. But if, somebody's just overly inquisitive, like she said, or, is emotional or is crying in front of you, then you might want to send them to somebody in mental health.
Once again, the number 1 priority at a DVC is to provide PEP and good public health care as efficiently as possible. Do your best to communicate quickly and keep the lines moving. While you're busy taking care of everyone else in the city, don't forget to take care of yourself.
Don't forget to eat. We're human. If you have headaches, bring some aspirin. But take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else.
One more thing. While the plan described here addressed an anthrax response, the DVC infrastructure may also be applied to many other types of public health disasters. To learn more about DVCs and public health disaster response, CDPH has created 0 Hour, a video game designed to enhance your understanding of various DVC roles. It will be available in the CDPH Learning Management System in 2007. On behalf of the City of Chicago, the Chicago Department of Public Health, and the Chicago Office of Emergency Management and Communications, we thank you for watching this presentation. Advanced training and preparation for public health disasters help ensure that we're as ready as we can be when our citizens and visitors need us.